And that is where all of the dislike begins, as the tip belongs to the top-seeded Red Storm, their first back-to-back Big East regular season titles since 1985 and 1986.
Physicality, the name of the game. You know, both of these teams love to get physical. Neither are going to back down, but at some point, someone's going to have to make shots for both sides from that perimeter.
Zuby Ejiofor is long. And the glass was what Kim English prioritized with his team pregame, because he said, if you let St. John's get extra opportunities, you're cooked. Darling was off. How about a third opportunity? Sellers. He can't hit. How about a potential fourth opportunity? It will be.
And this is the game that St. John's wants in terms of 50-50 balls. Dillon Darling starts it the way that he usually starts it and ends it. He wants to win every loose ball. I think energy in this building is important early. When we saw Providence get off to a slow start yesterday, I don't think they can afford that in this game.
Ejiofor. He cannot hit either. Dillon Mitchell, how about a fifth opportunity? Mitchell cannot hit, and that has been St. John's bugaboo. Rick Pitino said, at the end of the day, we've got a lot of nitty-gritty. We've got a lot of physicality. We've got to be able to open things up with our offense and make some shots.
I will say you have to stress the positive zone. They've gotten great looks. Not good, great looks early. They will fall. You have to continue to get downhill. There you go.
That's Dillon Mitchell who glides in.
You know, Dillon Mitchell is a NBA prototypical size, length. He can learn those techniques, the technical part of basketball. He has so many gifts, and they're going to need those today. That slashing and getting to the rim.
8 on the shot clock here. Jalen Sellers, Big East regular season scoring champion. It's Mila, who's had the best stretch of his career in scoring, but Mitchell's there on an air ball. St. John, one of the best defensive teams in the country.
You have to rely on guys to take some pride in their individual defense on both sides.
One note for Providence, Jason Edwards remains out with a back injury as Arumse comes out of this game. And Donnie, it feels like that's a move that says, hey, we tried to say, you got to play big in this game. You got to get on the glass. He goes right to the bench to Cole Hargrove.
Yeah, let's take a seat, see what we see from the bench. Get yourself now calibrated, and we'll get you back in the game. But I like the message sent.
Providence got past Butler yesterday, 91-81. Jameer Jones, he's out of control. Hargrove's there, and a foul on Zuby Ejiofor from behind. So something to monitor. A first foul, 2 minutes and 15 seconds in for the Big East Player of the Year.
Ooh. I think this is a game where, you know, the officials understand the history, but the physicality, it's gonna have to, you're gonna have to let some stuff go.
I think everybody has an understanding of the history. As Mitchell collects, a full house here at the Garden. In transition, it's Sellers. He hits.
Boy, he is the X factor, the wild card at times. But this is a completely different looking team when he is making shots. It's not all on him. They have a bunch of guys who can make shots, but when he gets going early, they are just so difficult, John, to help off of onto Zuby. You can't leave him open, number 4 in white.
He made 3 threes against Seton Hall Friday night. Red Storm secured the Big East regular season title. They did it outright with UConn losing to Marquette. Now a steal. Ejiofor at the back. Zuby and the Johnnies.
That number, that one right there, Johnny, that is so important in tournament play, but also it's who St. John's has been all season long. They impose their will. They're one of the most fouled teams in the country. At about 21 a game, they just force you into uncomfortable positions as well.
Sellers and the Friars still scoreless. Here's Mitchell. He's on a mission. Dillon Mitchell.
Just too good in the open court in transition, and not going to beat you from downtown, but he doesn't have to because he continues to keep you on your heels.
What a start for the Red Storm, who have been so tough in this building. An 18-2 finish in the Big East for a second consecutive season. Think about that, folks. 36-4. Over the last 2 years, down to 1. Mila has to heave. He was short. It belongs to the Johnnies. It bears noting here, Providence trailed Butler yesterday 15-2. But St. John's is not Butler.
Yeah, a little different resistance when you get to the paint, you jump stop. And now you see Zuby Ejiofor in front of you, or Bryce Hopkins, a little bit stronger, a little bit more athletic. But St. John started 0 for 6, John. They're 4 of their last 4. Talking about getting calibrated and getting things under control. You do have those jitters to start games, even at home.
Darling, elbow. It's long. Sellers with the rebound. Fryer's able to not only get a stop with the board. Look at Mitchell. What a start to his postseason. Mitchell to Ejiofor out of the reach, and we will have a timeout. Zuby Ejiofor said it's my responsibility to show the guys who weren't with us last year this is another level, fellas.
Yeah, and that tracks for Zuby Ejiofor. You know that relationship with Coach Pitino and how it's grown, but his leadership skills. He will talk to the team in huddles before Coach Pitino gets in there. There's just been that trust, and he's been there. When you've been there and you've done that, it's easy to be able to trust a player like that.
And look, as much as these guys like Dillon Mitchell or Dylan Darling, Sellers as well, are new this year, they've become very familiarized and feeling right at home in this building. St. John's, the record in the last 2 years in this building, 22-2.
Turnover is one less chance to shoot a 3.
And they did not make a 3 in the first half. That's Jalen Sellers.
And that's a great start for not only him, but obviously Providence. This end here, though, it's got to be some really good communication. If you're switching, you got to switch into guys. You can't leave any airspace.
Dylan Darling off the screen. Darling is off. Hopkins, though, more of the same. An 11th offensive rebound for St. John's. They're up 14 on the glass. Hopkins, a big first half. He was short, and Providence can't box out.
Providence has everything, as we talked about, John, in working order, as it were. But Dylan Darling's 0 for 6. You know, if you had to pick your niche, you would say, okay, he's the one guy. But the thing you get, that's just way too easy. The thing you get with Darling is you can leave him on the floor when he's not shooting well, because he's going to be on the floor, dive for loose balls, finding guys. He's got 3 rebounds, a couple of assists.
Here is Sellers attacking and hitting with the left hand. He's got 14 points.
Yeah, he really is the lone bright spot for St. John's. Mila has had 9 in that first half. So you got to show some resistance here at this end.
Ejiofor, no. But again, on the offensive glass, here's Sellers. Josiah Sellers is off, and St. John just wants it more. Hopkins is fouled. He has been, and then in our nightcap, meeting number 101 of Villanova and Georgetown. Ed Cooley and Kevin Willard. As Ed said late last night, Kevin and I have been going at it for 20 years. We don't have any secrets left.
It's really who's going to play harder, and like we talked about in this game, do the little things.
And we watch Caden Lewis take this stage. He is so talented. That's later on. Ryan Mila is talented too. Ryan Mila, the second Providence player, as Hopkins is off, in the last 40 years with at least 150 rebounds and 50 assists as both a freshman and sophomore.
Look at him. I mean, that is out of his reach, and Sellers getting along that baseline. And again, we've seen it in this game, though. They get down. They haven't quit. Sellers has gotten hit in that shoulder a couple times. He's staying in the game. He understands that above anything, pride is the most important thing you have to be playing for right now.
Caroline Pineda, what do you have?
Well, Rick Pitino in the last huddle was talking about his team's effort. The message from the coaching staff was, we have to get our physicality back. Stop jogging around, John.
They had that all throughout the first half. Ejiofor is off.
You can't be in a home run trot when you know you're playing against a desperate team. Game's not over.
Vox looking for a room save. He's doubled, and he threw it right into the hands of Darling. A 9th turnover by PC. Sannon winds up, in and out. Mitchell saving it. Sellers downstairs to Ejiofor. Zuby on an island. A room save with 3 fouls. And there's a lid on the basket for St. John's. Haven't scored in 2.5 minutes.
0 for their last 5. And more importantly, Providence is keeping them off the offensive glass. There was a Dillon Mitchell save, but got to give yourself a chance to get going this way.
Ryan Mila's on a mission. It's down to 11.
Don't have to be in a panic here.
Darling, no. Ejiofor, 16-2 on the offensive glass.
Yeah.
You need a play, call Zuby.
He just calms everything down. He settles you. And the beauty of having Zuby is you don't have to run anything for him because his work rate is just unmatched. He'll go dig it out and get an offensive rebound and put it back.
Players who have won Big East player, defensive player, and scholar athlete in the year. A room save is fouled. Zuby Ejiofor
For on offense, but it starts on defense. For really, even teams that aren't defensive teams, for Providence as well, it starts on this end.
Caroline, you were sitting in on Kim English's huddle. What did he have to say?
Well, he had a similar message to what you heard there from Rick Pitino. English said, you're tired, but it hurts so much more to not box out and not give effort.
It hurts so much more to be at home watching other teams play in a championship game or a semifinal game as well.
Especially when you know it's over if you lose. As Jones is off, that's one of the dimensions of this tournament. Kim English reportedly on the way out at Providence. Mitchell is off. Prey on the offensive glass. But his guys played hard for him yesterday, and they're trying to will something into existence this afternoon. Play for 40 more. Mitch English took that from Jim Calhoun as Sannon, Orts, and company can get something cooking. That is a shot-making finesse versus some rough physicality matchup coming up between Seton Hall and Creighton. Vox, he connects. Stephen Vox.
That stroke is so pretty. You won't find a better stroke in college basketball than that. You just won't.
He's got 480 points on the season. That's the most points by a freshman in Providence program history. The answer's there for Sellers. He's got 9. And as you've alluded to, you can't just trade him with 10 minutes to go. It's still 15. Got it down to 11. Mila stripped. It's whistled to Providence.
There he is, just that little hesitation there, and he's got the size, John, to be able to elevate over. Good call there.
Mila looking for Vox. Now Sellers is chasing him. Vox has a step now. Oh my goodness. And it's been in the Rick Pitino Development Factory, and just like that, it's back to 15. And that's a 10-second violation. That is a mental error.
Those are those unforced turnovers. There really wasn't a ton of pressure there. Take a look, bottom right here. You see it. That's an easy one for the officials.
St. John's, #1 seed in the Big East tournament, back-to-back regular season champs for the first time since 85-86. And they got this program and not seen it outright since 85 until last year. Now they've done it back-to-back seasons. It's been a long time since we've been talking about St. John's at this level and on this level of the map nationally. But Donnie, it's the Pitino effect in every way.
No question.
Jackson, he spins it home.
That 2-foot jump stop, used it so well. Little shot fake, freeze the D, get him in the air. Beautiful.
8-0 run. Mela rejected. It's Hopkins and Sellers. Right now projected 5 seed. They look like they could be a big dance dark horse. Mitchell on the alley-oop. New York City is a buzz. It always is on this Thursday, but when St. John's is playing like this, there's an extra factor. They got a foul before anything. Big East tournament titles. How about that, partner? Rick Pitino just trying to add some more history.
It's difficult, John. I was on 2 teams that won outright regular season Big East championships, but getting to the Big East tournament was a different animal. It's so difficult to sustain that, to win the regular season, continue that into the Big East tournament. It is hard. We never did it, at least my years.
Why not?
It's tough. Impossible. Almost impossible. Obviously, St. John just showed that it's not impossible.
This guy has hit 12 threes in these 2 games. 12.
Good steal.
And now a steal by Mela. Mela attacking and hitting. It's down to 18 here with 7 minutes to go.
And look, it's probably inconsequential for this game in St. John, but those are plays right there that I think Coach Pitino will look at and say, those are game changers in terms of winning and losing.
Behind James Sutherland.
Wow.
From Syracuse. I love that you said. I love that you said how it's hard.
It is.
Like, take me through this week. You get done with the game, and then
you're not. There's no secrets. Everyone knows who you are. They know how you're built, and they know what your weaknesses are. They know how to get under your skin. Got to stay healthy. Got to keep those distractions to a minimum.
Mitchell can't hit, and a foul. How long?